As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
Play a full 60 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it simple.
Get pucks deep, putting the puck deep, put pucks in deep.
We got to keep it simple and just get pucks going forward.
Getting into the forecheck.
We got to keep playing aggressive.
Trying to take away their time and space.
We're focused on tonight. We just got to stick to our game.
It's draft day, baby. Here we go. The Fifth Liners Fantasy Hockey Draft. We're recording live for this episode. 10 minutes until round one begins. We've got some NHL news to cover before we get to there. But as far as we know, we think everyone should be filtering in for the start here. We've got Jorge Bannister, Jake Swanson, Matt Leonardo, and there comes Nick Kojan joining on now, just missing Colin Kapoor. I'm not sure if he's coming on or not tonight, but he will be part of this draft. We'll start with Nick, the newest entrant here. Nick, what's going on, buddy?
Not too much. I was just finishing up an assignment, getting that out of the way before getting started here. So I'm looking forward to it. Huge draft, so looking forward to it.
Nick's taken right out of Matt's book, being studious. I threw an honorary tribute to Matt, threw the glasses on to try to look as geeky as I could for today's episode. Matt, long road trip. I saw you this morning, and now you're 6 hours away up in Boston, ready to draft.
Oh yeah, I nothing but good thoughts in my head driving up here. I left at about 2:30 in the afternoon, got into Boston, took a quick shower, and got myself in somewhat of a draftable position here. Just getting the website loaded up as we speak, actually. So again, all we need is vibes. So I've been feeling vibes since the season ended back in July, and we're ready to take over the championship soon.
Matt has no draft strategy, strictly off vibes, and just like the shirt he's wearing, his fantasy team will be losing just as much as the San Jose Sharks. Decked out in his gear, Jake Swanson. What's going on, Jake?
Not much. Had a fun road trip. Saw the Penn State-Illinois game with a couple of family members. So that was cool to be in Beaver Stadium for a home game. And then also on the side watching the Clarkson women play their opening games. Nice 9-0, 14-0. Casey's shaking his head because it was an interesting matchup between a D3, well, not a D3, but not a traditional opponent for the Golden Knights this year.
Two, I think.
Are they D3? Yeah. One of my high school classmates went there for women's hockey. Actually, she graduated 2 years ago. But yeah, it was cool to see the what was it, 89 shots on goal.
School record.
Yeah.
School
and
record.
Then 14 goals the second game.
There he is. George was just frozen. He's back now. George, last but certainly not least here, what's happening out in the Northeast?
Some strangely warm weather up here, man. We hit the weekend and it was 70 and muggy, and it's been weird up here, but you know, it's hockey season. We got our draft tonight. I got another draft during the week, prepping my hockey boards for upcoming action. So it's a wonderful time to be alive, man.
First broadcast is coming up this week, this Friday, as the Golden Knights return home. Very excited for that. NHL news, the preseason's underway. It's been a lot of fun to actually have hockey on the TV. Some big-time notable injuries that are definitely going to impact our decisions here tonight in fantasy. Two of the huge ones, Drew Doughty, still no term on that injury, but it's going to be for sure long-term. They said he will return at some point this season. But if pending whether it's a ligament or bone damage, it's going to be maximum up to 8 months. It is minimum probably at least 6 to 8 weeks. That's a huge one. Last night, as we record this here Sunday night, the episode will drop on Tuesday. Patrick Laine, nasty knee-on-knee collision, and it comes with a guy on the Toronto Maple Leafs likely not even going to make the team and taking out one of the Canadiens' fresh superstars. And you got to feel for Patrick Laine, a guy who just cannot get a break. Again, he's struggling with injury. And maybe the most interesting one that's not really going to affect much, William Nylander knocked out of the preseason game as Nick Robertson gives him the old boost play, a little stick to the arse, and he went straight down head to knee on the back check, knocked out of the game. I don't think it's going to be anything towards the regular season. Sounds like it was just precautionary. But guys, obviously a lot of a note there, some seriously big name players that are banged up in the preseason. Absolutely the last thing you want to see.
You're exactly right, Casey. I mean, having injuries during the preseason, obviously it happens, and you want those guys healthy coming, March and April, but getting those injuries early is super tough, especially for a guy like Doughty, who's, been on that team forever. He's been one of the faces of that franchise for so long. The Kings were kind of on the fence for a lot of people. Are they going to sneak in as that 3 in the Pacific? Are they going to get a wild card spot? I think this is a huge loss, having Doughty on LTIR. It'll be interesting to see if they make any other moves to bolster up that right side, because other than him, I mean, you're really going to have Brant Clark step up and take a huge role here. So that's the one for me that I really think is going to have the biggest impact going into the start of the year.
Looking forward to fantasy here. We'll break it down 3 minutes until the first pick of the draft and go through the scoring format first, and then the order of draft, which we found out earlier today. Points for goals, 10 points, assists, 7 points, plus minus, power plays, and shots on goal are all 1. 3 points for shorthanded goals and game-winning goals, 1.5 points for hits and blocks. Goaltenders receive 5 for a win, lose 1.75 every goals against, 0.75 for saves, and 10 points for any shutouts. The roster format, everybody gets 2 centers, 2 left wings, 2 right wings, 4 starting defense, 2 goalies, and 5 bench positions. So you can use your bench positions however you like. But the real interesting thing, as of this year on the ESPN platform, there is no dual eligible players. So for those who have played before, a lot of commonality with a guy like Brady Tkachuk, the greatest fantasy franchise leader of all time, being a left wing and center eligible, meaning on any given night you could play him in your left wing spot. You could also put him in your center spot. No longer, as now he is strictly left wing. There are a lot more centers than there seem to be any other position, but that really shakes it up. Let's go to the vibes guy first, Maddie. What's your strategy here looking at the first round? You're going to be the first to draft of anyone on this episode here. You got the number 2 overall.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to get a franchise caliber player to start off the roster. I think the 2 names that kind of jump out to
me at 2 is crazy.
The 2 names that are jumping off to me personally, both up the center. So, Brady Tkachuk's not going to be one of the names. Obviously, 2 of the best players in the league here with Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon. I think both of those guys, if you think about a guy who's most likely to put up 120, 130 this year, it's one of those 2 names. Obviously, the appeal with Matthews is that he scores a lot more goals than assists. But I think overall, I think they're going to get the most ice time. I think they're going to have the most opportunities to succeed. And obviously, they're 2 of the best players in the league. So can't go wrong with either pick here. So kind of leaning on whatever goes number 1 and then filling out the roster from there.
Our league is broken into the 5th liners and the outsiders. We have 6 of us and 6 of the opposition. Josh, one of the opposers, has the first pick. Then it's Maddie, followed by Jake and Colin, then Nick. So 4 straight out of our camp here. Then Bucky, who's one of the outsiders, George with the 7th overall. Then 3 straight from outside the show, Ryan, Megan, Scotty. I have the 11th overall pick, and outsider Dan is 12 overall. Ironically, when we came up with the draft formatter there, that was Bucky's idea. I was saying how much I liked the idea because I'm convinced that ESPN gives the league commissioner the 12th pick overall in every draft. I end up with the 11th, of course, so I didn't benefit too much out of trying to rig the draft format here. 20 seconds until the opening pick of the draft. I've spent 3 weeks intensely statting out how this is going to go down. My top 200 rankings will be released on Tuesday on our blog. Shout out Nick Kojan, our lead writer on the Fifth Liners podcast. Matt, drafting off vibes, is going to start at the top of the leaderboard, tied at 0-0 before he quickly drops out. And we are on the clock here, 60 seconds per pick. After every round on the YouTube, for those watching, we will have the draft board pop up. So every 12 picks that will change, and we'll start with the first round after pick number 12 comes out. Josh is on the clock, taking quite a bit of time here for pick number 1.
He just
got in the board. He just got in the room and picked Nate McKinnon.
Wow, Nate McKinnon there, Matty. That was your go-to. He's gone. So pretty easy one for Matt. He picks Connor McDavid at number 2. Jake, what's your strategy here?
Well, this guy did really well for me last year. He fell to me at 4 last year. Number 3, Austin Matthews. And like Matty said, I think definitely the goals are the upside. Just got to hope that he stays healthy and the Maple Leafs make some noise on the offensive end.
4 is Colin. Is he in the draft room? Haven't heard from him too much in the last week here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So I think he's on auto.
He's making the adjustment into Tahoe Night Monsters world.
Just moved out there, I think it was on Wednesday. Send him a reminder that we're live here. Colin might be going on auto draft. That's not a bad pick to have. David Pastrnak would be his first.
That helps me.
Is that you want number 5 there, Nick?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at 5 and 7 right now. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with a guy who just put up 100 assists last year. And that's exactly who I'm gonna pick. Nikita Kucherov.
Pastrnak goes 4th, Kucherov 5th. And George, you're going to be next up after the West Point Warriors. Mikko Rantanen is the next available. Then my favorite pick, Brady Tkachuk and Leon Draisaitl. Where are you looking here?
So I'm looking at special teams numbers here. We know that Tkachuk and Draisaitl and Rantanen, all 3 on the board, can put up any type of points. Draisaitl's off the board. That was going to be my pick. So I'm going to pivot and go to your guy, Casey, and Brady Tkachuk.
That just made my night. A guy who outwardly despises Brady Tkachuk is now going to have to be on the bandwagon. And George is a Tkachuk lover this season. Hey, trades are always open if you ever want to send a guy over.
Listen, if I trade everybody, it doesn't matter if it's a 1st-round pick or a 12th-round pick. Doesn't matter to me.
I guess I'm rooting for a slow start for the Sens then here. I'm going to be all over that if it comes available. Mikko Rantanen goes next. Now for the ESPN platform, it's Roman Josi, William Nylander, Kirill Kaprizov, JT Miller, and Matthew Tkachuk. And I'm going to shout this one up to Maddie. Your namesake, I can't help but notice, is well behind his superior brother.
Yeah, a couple spots behind here. I think there's a lot more opportunity to dish the puck out in Florida and give to guys like Reinhart and Verhaeghe, as opposed to Kachuk's kind of having to run a one-man show, maybe with Jimmy Stützle. But it's the hits and the block shots that really probably put Brady ahead of him. But I know you're pretty dialed in here, trying to potentially take his brother. I know how much you love Brady, so maybe Matthews, somebody on your radar here.
Roman Josi went next. I am not looking at Matthew Tkachuk here unless maybe he falls back. I'm up in 1 pick. If he happens to fall to me at the 14th pick, I would certainly consider it. I had him last year. I think with Tkachuk, it'll be interesting. He had a slow start to last year, really picked it up. I actually traded for him in this league en route to winning it. Shout out the defending champion again. But he had a slow start. I expect that again this year for a lot of the Florida Panthers. I think, wow, that one
Whoa.
Sam Reinhart goes next, picking the 20. He was 30th overall. That is a heads-up play there by Scotty, and I am going to stick to my guns here. I'm taking Cal McCarr.
I knew that
an
was
established D-man. I'm going to go a little bit on a reach there. That seems to be my strategy. I have him statted, ranked out 15th. I don't want to risk that he's not going to come back to me, and I like a lot of the options that are going to be sitting right here at the turn that I could get 15th. So this is going to work out perfectly. JT Miller is who I had my eyes on next. Matty Tkachuk and then Sidney Crosby go at the turn. I'm going to grab JT Miller with the second pick of the second round. First round was McKinnon first, McDavid, Matthews, Draisaitl, Tkachuk, Rantanen, Yossi, Reinhart, Makar, Tkachuk, and now Andre Vasilevsky, the first goalie coming out, pick 3 of the second round, guys. That is certainly unexpected.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Now Bouchard as well, another big reach.
It's really difficult to start making a run on goalies in the second round, especially with such great goalkeeping that's going to come up this season. Boy, second round, it's tough.
Yeah, 2 D-men go off the board there. Evan Bouchard and Rasmus Dahlin. So people are taking after you, Casey, going from the blue line up.
So, yeah, I talked with Megan, and I kind of talked her into that pick, but she's a big Edmonton fan, won our Stanley Cup playoff pool by just drafting the entire roster of the Edmonton Oilers and wanted Bouchard. I've got him statted out right around 20th. ESPN has him way low. A lot of the other ranking systems have him right in the low 20s. So I like that pick at 16. A little bit of a reach towards him, but I think there's going to be a lot of value there.
I'm going to go with Elias Pettersson. Yeah, I like Elias Pettersson. I like Elias Pettersson. He's a big guy in the faceoff. At the faceoff dot, he can put up goals. He can dish the puck. That's my guy. I have him as a keeper in my other league. He never steers me wrong. Second round, I'll take him all day.
That's right on there with the JT Miller pick that I've got. That's kind of goes back to our fantasy teams when we were ranking salary capped rosters there. I had Miller as my top line guy. You're more of a Pettersson fan there, George, and he's going to be leading your team as the 1C.
I love it. Like I said, he never let me down in my last league. He actually helped me win a playoff match to get into the bronze medal game. So why not pick him up again?
Real Kaprizov goes next. Nick, that puts you on the board. Let's see. Do we lose Nick here?
No, I'm still in. I was debating on 2. So I picked Jack Hughes. I was debating on him and William Nylander. I think Nylander is going to put up his first 100-point season. Same with Jack Hughes.
Not a true Leafs fan.
No.
Not going with your boy Willie.
I know. I'm surprised he's dropping this far.
Oh, this is a tough decision for me here because, like you said, you got Nylander on the board. I was looking at Braden Point since Stamkos is gone from Tampa Bay, but I don't know. I think Casey's right. There's a lot of center depth in this, like without the changing of positions being allowed. So I think I'm gonna go with the top guy on the board, go with Nylander, and oh god, I'm turning into Toronto. This could be interesting.
Interested to hear your guys' thoughts on the change. We'll get to that after we get around the turn here. Matt, you're up next here. Pick 11 in the second round.
Yeah, this is where the draft strategy comes into play. Cannot wait to get flamed for a couple back-to-backs here, but we're starting off with the Vezina Trophy winner, Connor Hellebuck. I think fantasy hockey's won in the goaltending position. I'm pretty strong on getting guys that are going to lock up and get you wins night in and night out, and I think Winnipeg's got a solid chance to fight for a playoff spot and get a ton of wins, and Hellebuck's going to get the majority of those starts. So for me, that's kind of where I went there.
Crosby kicked off the round. Then it was JT Miller, Vasilevsky, Bouchard, Dahlin, Pedersen, Kaprizov, Hughes, Connor, Nylander, Hellebuck, Stamkos. First pick of the third, Zach Hyman. Matt, that puts you back up here. Panarin, Point, Ovechkin, Zibanejad, Forsberg, the top 5 available.
Yep, and not going with any of them. Again, got to get wins. So who's going to get the most wins this year? My guy, Igor Shesterkin, in a contract year.
Oh,
so back-to-back goaltenders to lock it up.
George is going to
Matt,
be
I love
mad
it.
about that one.
No,
I
I had him queued up in my third round pick. I didn't. No way did I think anybody was gonna eyeball, especially not you, Matt. After picking up Connor Hellebuck, that's a great 1-2 combo you got between the pipes there. Whew, congrats to you.
All right.
I'm watching this get close, and with some of the names available, I am a bit bamboozled on where my strategy is going to go from what I had marked out.
I'm between two right now for mine. I've got Gensel and Dobson in the sights. I like Dobson because he's probably one of the better D-men available. But Gensel in Tampa, we're gonna pull the trigger and grab my namesake, Jake.
I love it. That's gonna be a home run hitter if he picks up Stamkos in the left circle there on the power play. And easily could. Nick, you're next.
Bedard. Wow.
Nick with Connor Bedard. Nick, where was the thought process there?
No, I picked Quinn Hughes. So I got both Hughes bros.
Colin got Bedard. Colin has joined the chat.
And I needed a defenseman, and I think
Nick, that was my next pick that you just jacked. That's
not sorry about it.
No, I mean that's great value there. I've got him at 25th. Some platforms have him ranked up as high as like 15, 16, 17, and you're able to get him down there at 28. That's definitely a good pick. Vincent Trocheck goes next. So this goes back to the center depth question. I don't know about reaching on any of these centers when you could get all these top guys. I would way rather have Point over Trocheck there, but that now puts George on the clock here.
Yeah, I'm debating between 3 different players here, and I go with Braden Point on that. I had to take him. Needed another center to join Elias Pettersson, and that was my guy.
All right, we're getting towards me here. I have Miller and Makar. And I would love to see. I'm going to be a little bit quiet because I have another player in the room from this league that is intently listening while taking my other next pick in Sebastian Aho. So
I can already hear the trades.
I didn't know you and Danny were that close, Ditz.
I know. I was actually he's one of my golfers. I was mother Kachucker here. Forsberg was the one I was not mentioning that I was waiting to drop. I really thought I was going to have until the 38th pick to take Aho, who was ranked down near 60. And Forsberg was the one I wanted. Now, let's see. I am sitting here with the 35th pick.
Still got an Ovi on the board, Casey, if you want some goal scoring.
No, I'm not going anywhere near him. Don't worry about that.
But you're just he's asking for PPGs, yeah.
I think I'm going to rip off. I'm going to rip Matt here, and I'm going UC Saros.
Oh, man.
No disrespect,
I was planning on
here.
I was planning on waiting until I was going to wait until the 7th to 8th round to grab a goaltender, but I don't love any of the picks that are staring at me right there. I'm going to get a locked up guy. 3rd round is over. It was Hyman, then Shesterkin, Gensel, Bedard, Hughes, Trocheck, Braden Point, Panarin, Aho, Forsberg, Saros, and Mika Zibanejad. I am up after the following pick. The top 5 going into the 3rd round: Ovechkin, Robertson, Vetrano, Carter Verhaeghe, Jack Eichel, Dylan Larkin. Oof, man. I mean, like almost every one of my value picks are no longer on the board here.
I will say,
listen,
George,
that last pick in the third round, Mika Zibanejad, could go either way. He's looking to prove himself this year. I don't know if he and Kreids can come together and build some sort of regular season like they did 2 years ago, as opposed to last season where they kind of struggled. But Breadman off the board, Mika's off the board, Adam Fox now off the board as the first pick in the fourth round.
I was going to say, George, I'm looking at picks 28 through 37 here. They're 25 through 37. You got 5 out of 12 Rangers. I mean, how are you liking that?
I'm loving it because that means people are riding high on the Rangers again. We've already discussed in our Metro Division episode where we feel the Rangers are going to be. We're not quite President's Trophy, but pretty high in points, and that means a lot of goals, and that means good goaltending. You took Igor off the board, and then all the primary people from that group is in there as well. So makes me feel good as a fan.
Adam Fox goes early. That's the first pick of the fourth round. Another D I had my eyes on. I went with Georgiev. I'm following in Matt's footsteps and just I hate it. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I was gonna wait on goaltenders. I like a lot of the depth, but Georgiev is a guy that's gonna be playing pretty much every game out there. And that goes back to the Colorado conversation. George, you're down on them. I think they're guaranteed to be in the playoffs. Letting in 4 or 5 goals a night. Give me the 5 points, I guess.
How do you think the Leafs do year in year out?
Listen, Casey, if this shakes out as I think it's going to shake out, when I grab my pick at 42, I'm going to seriously question why you decided to go the route you went.
And I'm assuming it's Ottinger.
I'm not saying a darn word.
So I'm going. My thought there was based on games played. I think Georgiev's I'm not saying Georgiev's a better goalie than a lot of the names listed. We've got Allmark, Bobrovsky, Swayman, Sorokin, Ottinger, Freddie Anderson. A lot of those guys are in timeshares, though.
I would have grabbed Swayman over Braden Point without a doubt if he had a contract. If he had a contract, I would have grabbed him. Because he didn't, I'm going to do what you said. I didn't want to say I was taking Otter. I'm grabbing Otter, which is a way better goalie. He's going to put up better points than Georgiev. It doesn't matter how many games Georgiev has in goal.
Only question there is the timeshare and whether or not DeSmith takes games away. If he starts struggling, he's had injuries. But and George, I'm right with you. I honestly panicked on the 30 seconds there because none of the names I've been totally fully planning on are sitting there, and the
vibes have flipped upside down.
A little bit of trouble right now.
We need like a vibes graph for Matt to like.
Oh my God!
Going.
Yes,
immaculate.
Yes.
Oh, there goes Omar.
I like Colin. I like that pick by Colin. I just don't think Ottawa is good enough in front of him.
Maybe like about 25 wins, maybe from Omar at best. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right, we're going D. I'm going to take Dobson. He was the best D-man left, at least according to the ESPN rankings. I was going between him and Hedman, to be honest.
Hedman, my opinion, Hedman may have been a slightly better pick, but in the fourth round, late in the fourth round, Dobson's a solid pick there.
And my guy gets to me, who I think in a contract year is going to lead the Toronto Maple Leafs in points. That's Mitch Marner going in on the right wing. I think the opportunity to play with Matthews on that first line, he's going to have so much to prove this year, and I think he's going to have a massive year on my right wing.
I've had him in my keeper league since its inception, and my team name, Mitch Better Have My Marnie. Love that pick for you, Matty.
That's fantastic.
That's
crazy.
I'll have to say, Matt, if Matthews and Marner light it up, we'll be seeing some big numbers on our teams.
I'm not going to complain as long as I get the last laugh at the end here.
Boys, I am seriously in trouble here.
Uh-oh.
Chris
Ditzel has lost the league.
The Ditzy's Dogs camp is. I got two names. I got two names I'm possibly looking at here, and I'm a ways away from any of them
Now, I'm not
still
gonna lie.
standing.
George, what do you think about Bob going right there?
I hate that pick, actually, if I'm being honest.
Yeah?
I don't think he plays anywhere. I think he's going to be playing maybe 60% for them this year.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ditz, 100%. We're going to see potentially another season where the fans down in South Florida are going to be clamoring for Spencer Knight.
We got Matt back up. The 4th round is over. That was the first pick of the 5th here. Round 4 in order. It was Fox, Georgiev, Ovechkin, Robertson, Verhaeghe, Ottinger, Konechny, Eichel, Allmark, Dobson, Marner, Kreider. Bobrovsky goes pick 1. Matt takes Nick Suzuki off the board, leaving Jake
pick
on the clock with Vetrano, Larkin, Tavares, Johnston, and Eriksson Ek. Jake, you're staring down a guy on your team here. Is that where you're going?
No, it's not. And I love Vetrano, but I just don't think that Anaheim has the fantasy firepower. And I'm not going with any of the top 5 there. I'm going with kind of my sleeper pick this year, and I'm hoping he'll be okay. And it's Clayton Clutch Keller, the Utah Hockey Club.
I like it. This is one of those guys, going back to the change in the rules on the ESPN platform. He was tri-eligible. You could have played him left, center, or right. Now he's just on the left wing now. And but Jake, I agree. He's with Utah. That arena is going to be buzzing. Great pick there.
And Colorado steals my guy right after me.
I had Clayton Keller queued up, ready to hit that draft button once I got to me at 55. That's not happening anymore. Ooh.
I had him last year late. He was one of my last picks in last year's draft, and he paid off dividends. I have to stick with it. Led me to a championship. So
Wyatt Johnson.
I think that's a little early, but
especially being only center going.
Yeah. With the knowledge of hockey that you got in, as we have the 6 fifth liners versus the 6 outsiders, that's not bad. Not bad. I'm debating between 2 different players here, a D-man or a winger. And I'm going to stick with a D-man. I think Dougie Hamilton's going to do big things with New Jersey this year. He's got Brett Pesce to work with him. And I just like that pick there in the 5th round.
That is so not cool.
When we get the vibe graph.
Get the vibe graph. Oh, my God. The freaking the turn pick, man. I am just... The vibes were low right when the draft order came out. The commish just getting absolutely barreled over at the 11 pick here. And man, it's looking bleak. Josh Morrissey goes next. The top 5 up right now. I'm 2 picks away. It's Larkin, Tavares, Eriksson Ek, Barkov, Tage Thompson. 5 straight centers, and all 5 of those are now 25 picks lower than projected 80.
Interesting.
The selected pick. Oh, you gotta be freaking just barking my dogs right now. Victor Hedman goes the pick before me. I've lost. Oh my. We've got Stuart Skinner off the board, Victor Hedman. I've got limited time to pick here.
So I know our
37 seconds
are important. I know the Spotify numbers are important, but if you can get to YouTube, you gotta watch this one live. The ups and downs and the faces have been unbelievable from my point of view.
Guys, I'm bamboozled right now.
Listen, I I don't mind Stuart Skinner being your number one keeper, but when you got some other names still on the board, I don't think that's a good pick by Megan, honestly. But we'll see. We'll see. Barkov.
I hate it.
Barkov.
No, I don't like it at all, George. Just
no.
Rub it in, buddy.
Listen. He's got the opportunity to get you PPPs, shorthanded goals, and face-off wins. So
we don't do face-offs.
All right, no face-offs. Sorry. So
power play shots,
plus
block
minus
shots,
blocks. So
well,
I got him statted out, ranked at 35. I get him at 60, so it's a high value play.
All hell breaks loose though.
Yeah. Oof. Man, Ditz, I think all those screens might have confused you.
Yeah, where are the coding kids now? What are they up to?
Yeah. No
This
plan
is just
survives
not
contact with
going,
the enemy, right?
not going as planned. The 5th round concludes with Bobrovsky, Suzuki, Keller, Vetrano, Johnston, Uyghur, Hamilton, Morrissey, Skinner, Hedman, Barkov. No! You gotta be just Brad Marchand, the 12th pick of the 5th round, queued up next. Value pick of the century, and now I'm on the clock with just no clue who I'm picking.
I do love the Joseph Wall pick, by the way.
Gosh, niblets, dude.
Joe
Wall's
not
barking
a
my
bad
absolute freaking dogs.
Yeah. Maddie, I think you get the best pick of that 5th round there, Nick Suzuki. He's been consistent in a point provider, both in even open play and on the power play. You're gonna be happy with that pick. I'm sure you are.
Right,
and I think the continued. Go ahead, Ditz.
I hate it so bad. I'm sticking to centers. I love the player. There's I'm running out of time. 10 seconds on the clock.
7 seconds.
Tim Stützle.
Jimbo Stützle.
I got Stützle as a breakout candidate this year. I'm already into my bench. I have no left wings, no right wings. I'm missing 3 D spots. Somehow I have 2 goalies, even though I came into the draft planning on not getting any until late. I have no scorers. I'm going to be the trade market better be big here, boys. I've got
that's a great pick in that situation.
I have 2 great centers. I don't know.
I understand. See, I would have gone with Eriksson Ek over Stützle, but it's still a solid pick in the 6th round.
You know, Georgia, the only thing I disagree with there, I'd be shocked if Joel Eriksson Ek gets up to 70, 80 points this year. And I think Tim Stützle is a guy you could easily see get up to 90, 95. So I think like the scoring value there is just a little too high. I understand there's a lot of value outside of the scoring with Eriksson Ek, but for me, I think the upside there, if he's going to be on your bench, potentially as a trade piece at some point, I think more likely going to get a higher value out of Tim Stützle than Eriksson Ek personally.
The fact that Brad Marchand just went at the end of the 5th is gonna just I'm not gonna sleep tonight. I had him locked in, taking him 30 picks early, and he was gonna be my pick in the next round. And at the end of the 7th, which would be the 83rd pick, he was ranked on ESPN at 107. And I am not a happy guy right now. Not a happy guy.
Ooh. All right.
I'm gonna go right wing. I'm gonna go with the second best according to ESPN, second best right wing available. I'm gonna go with Jordan Kyrou from St. Louis.
Yeah.
I got a feeling over Kempe. I got a feeling that Kyrou's gonna, elevate this year.
Oh my god. That was my pick.
Yeah, it was also my pick. Oh,
it wasn't mine because they were going to take him ahead of me. But
I was looking for D. Well, I guess it's time to shore up the center. I wasn't going to take him until the next pick, but we're going Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
I like him. Had him last year. Part of my championship roster. Top power play unit that's going to be kicking at 30%. That's a good pick there.
I'd be nuts if Cozy snags him right now. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Just for the memes, honestly.
I'm interested. Well, Colin's been like bumping in and out of auto draft. I wonder. It's looking like it's either Larkin or Tavares that'll pick him.
Yeah, it's gonna go Dylan Larkin.
Okay. I was gonna be a little scared because of the Tavares injury, but that would have been fun.
All right, Matt, what you got brewing here?
I think George, you said over Kempe. I can't let him get that. I mean, 40 goal potential, 50 goal potential on the right wing too, at a position of need for everybody. I think center is a deeper position than the wing. So getting a guy who's going to be able to pop 40 in a year on my wing, it's hard to pass up on that.
Although I cannot wait to see where Colin's going to auto Patrick Laine at 87. That could be a really bad draw.
Oh, that's a great pick.
Cole Caulfield, yeah.
Guys who can
pick
pop
12 of the 6th round, Cole Caulfield. The 6th round, Joe Wool went first in the 6th. Then I got Tim Stützle, Joel Eriksson Ek, Jonathan Marchessault, Tage Thompson, Jordan Kyrou, Mo Seider, Lucas Raymond, back-to-back on the 2 guys that signed on the same day. Dylan Larkin, 3 Detroit Red Wings all in a row there. Then Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Adrian Kempe, Cole Caulfield, and round 7 starts with Brandon Montour. Matt, you're back up.
Yep. George, you're kind of like just running right over my picks here with the you mentioned the Boston hat here. You get a new D pairing on the left side and Nikita Zadorov that's going to beat the living tar out of anybody. It allows for the guy on the right side to skate around and who I think is going to make a huge step up in terms of point production while also providing value. Give me Charlie McAvoy here in the 7th round.
No!
I love it. I love it. I love not just
skunk.
The vibes were too high. The vibes were too high, Ditz. Come on now.
No, that's a phenomenal pick, Matty.
Oh,
oh boy. Well, I think I might make George either really happy or really mad because I'm getting on the Trouba train for my pick.
Oh, you disgust me.
Taking elbow to the dome right now.
Yeah, hits are 1.5 points, so just gotta hope he gets like 10 hits in a game.
Yeah, can you get like 30 for a sussy?
That would that'd be great. Being a third line D pair, I don't think he's gonna get much time on ice for 10 hits a game. And if he lines someone up perfectly, the one time he could do it, other than being caught flat-footed, then sure, take your 1.5 points for that 1 hit per game.
Hey, 1.5 points can decide a game.
That's true. That's very true.
But to be real, all of my D-men went, so I was struggling.
I wanted Seider so bad.
I know.
I like the pivot with Heiskanen, though. I think he'll get a lot of opportunities in Dallas on a good power play.
Yeah. Especially towards the top of today.
Oh! Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's Casey's boy right there.
That was my next pick. Oh!
Ditzel on the turnaround is watching 20 guys go in front of him. Has got to be one of the most painful things I've ever watched in my life. You just feel for the kid at this point.
Again, you have to watch the YouTube of this because the facial expressions.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's going to be great. All right, I got 20 seconds left on the clock. I'm debating between 3 different players. And honestly, I'm going to go a little younger, but I'm going to go on the D as well. He just signed that big contract with Minnesota. I'm going to go with Brock Faber.
Nice. Any concerns on Spurgeon coming back and taking some time on that first power play?
I don't think so, because Spurgeon may be their current guy right now, but Faber's clearly the future. So they may wind up splitting time on that PP1 unit. And if they don't, having Faber as your QB on the PP2, it could get him great looks and more time on ice on special teams, and even get him promoted to PP1 sooner. So
Yeah, and I guess too with that, there's a lot of guys on that Minnesota team that have the opportunity to score on the power play, right? You're going to get one of Marco Rossi or Matt Zuccarello on that power play with Faber, so I think it's not the worst case scenario if he ends up starting on that PP2.
All right, that's
All right, boys. My big reveal.
Oh God.
trying
JJ
to salvage.
was a good pick.
Hang on.
Oh boy.
The reveal was so big he froze out.
Oh no.
Ah,
That's
Oh.
it's not that
all's
big of a
well.
reveal.
That's
All's well in
Jarvis.
the world.
This is a pick that I think is going to win me the league. I want everything to do with Carolina's power play this year. Jarvis last year finished as the number 39 overall fantasy player, and he was ranked 150th here. I got him at 86 or 84 rather, 83, somewhere in there. Now is when it gets really interesting here. Now that everybody I like has gone and I'm back
Oh no.
at the turn.
Now it's my
Lafreniere.
turn to say, oh no. He was literally queued up as the namesake of my team, that Laffy Taffy. He was queued up, ready to go. Now I have to pivot.
Well, I'm going to go out to Utah. Top power play. I'm looking defenseman here, and I'm going with Sergachev. Big questions on injury concerns.
I like it.
But I need
If he's healthy.
I low-key, I need everything right now. But time to go do some value hunting, boys.
On the fly. Have him write up a script.
I can't wait to sit here for 23 picks, just licking my thumbs, watching every single guy I want get picked.
That's tough, man. I'm on the same boat here at the 2 spot, but you know what? Vibes are just staying high. You just gotta keep believing in it.
See, at least you got a top 3 guy though. The 2 spot you have Connor McDavid, and then you sit and wait.
Right. That is fair.
Let's do an update here on our team so far. I got JT Miller, Alexander Barkov, both of my centers, with Tim Stützle sitting as my top center on the bench. Seth Jarvis is my only right wing. I have Makar and Sergachev as my Ds, and 2 goalies, Saros and Georgiev. And another one of my Q guys just got, oh, you freaking dog, from the other side of the room, Gus Forsling, 100 picks ahead of adaptation. And
that's early for Gustav Forsling.
But it's not. It's really not.
It is in this type of league where you have 17 rounds. Gustav Forsling, I had him projected in this league at about an 11th round pick. I think that's too early, personally. Thatcher Demko. Well, that's interesting because that'll bring up my number 2 goalie right here, and that's going to be Jacob Markstrom. I think he's going to have a fantastic year in New Jersey. Sure, they may not give him the offensive firepower he may have got in the past in some of those great Calgary teams, but he's got a great D-core in front of him, and he's going to want to prove to everybody that New Jersey's legit in the Metro.
Love the Boldy pick also. I'm the
50-50 guy.
Spot.
And then Colin, I think, just got on auto draft Erik Karlsson. So for me, I'm going to go as well. I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to reach a little bit, but I don't know. My next on the board, I technically could wait, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm rethinking my thing now. Uh-oh. Nah, I think I gotta go with it. I don't know if I trust Philadelphia, but I trust the West End of Pennsylvania. Gonna go with one of the most consistent guys on the Pens for the last probably decade.
No. Oh, the Pens. All right.
Brian Rust is on that PP1 with Crosby, and he's on that first line. I think he's going to get a decent amount of looks on that offense. So
that's a great pick.
Yeah, I
Big
love
fan
that
of it.
pick. I think it's time for me to get some more defense here. The first guy I'm looking at right now, I think, he's getting older, but aging like fine wine. And with the losses of both Shea and Pesci, I think somebody's gonna have to step up and eat some more minutes up on that right side. And give me Brent Burns here, former Sharks legend, and I think he's gonna get more opportunities to run the power play, and just overall, I think he's gonna be playing a lot more for Carolina this year.
yeah, I like it. It's just
the interesting thing there. I think you wasted that pick there, Matt. He's not going to be running their power play one. Shane Gostisbehere is coming in to take over the top power play. He also is terrible in every statistic outside of, really outside of plus minus. He's a great leader. I love Brent Burns as a player for fantasy. I think that's a player that you're going to be dropping by week 4.
Maybe I will just for the memes. I'll still win the league and drop my 9th round pick by week 4.
It was your 8th round pick, but 8 rounds down.
Right.
We missed round 7. 7 was Montour, McAvoy, of course, Trouba, DeBrincat, Heiskanen, Svechnikov stolen from me again, Faber, Carlson, Peterka, Matheson, Jarvis, and Darnell Nurse. Round 8, Lafreniere, Sergachev, Tavares, really late there. That could be a huge bargain getting him in the 8th. Forsling, Demko, Markstrom, Bratt, Boldy, Carlson, Rust, Brent Burns, and then Heischer in the 8th. The first 2, Tippett and Taves in the 9th round. Taves a great pick there, Matty. I'll give you the rebound there.
Little rebound for you.
Oh, all right. I'll go with my backup D because I need D now. I'm going with Pietrangelo.
Ooh, I like it. I like the
another
Owen
interesting
Tippett
guy
as well.
That's not going to be on power play 1 necessarily too. There with Pietrangelo, but
I do think he'll still get enough looks from the blue line for Vegas though, because they're going to have to turn to someone after losing March or so, and the forward
Nicky,
core.
that's interesting.
Sneaky.
I
He's
like
ranked 35 and you put up 40.
Oh, dude, you've got to be kidding me. This sucks. I hate this so much. I've been waiting for this day since April to just have my heart ripped out of me repeatedly. Like, for those not with the draft board, Brock Besser goes pick 5 of the 9th round, 30 ahead of ADP, and George is now up.
I feel like Cozy's just sitting on stuff right now. It's so fun to watch.
Oh, I am. I got them all in my queue right now.
I'm debating between a D and a winger, and you know what? I think I'm going to scrap everything. I'm going to go with my number 3 center in Anze Kopitar. He's just been consistent in LA. He's going to get the points. He's get time on the power play. I like him there in the 9th round, middle of that 9th round.
I forgot about my league winner that is still out there to come.
I thought you already drafted Seth Jarvis.
It's one of my league winners. That was not. That's not
multiple.
the one. Oh yeah, you know it. I didn't stat out everything for one league winner. Get out of here.
That'd be crazy.
I seriously thought I had about 15 straight league winners, but then so far 14 of my 15 have gotten nabbed. Not cool.
Oh, this is gonna be the ongoing trope in the group chat of Casey being like, "You stole everything from me."
Oh yeah.
I have hope. I'm rallying though. Now that I'm looking at my stats, I'm back in the game, baby.
Never left.
Never left. Greatest to ever do it. Okay, we got to calm ourselves down. I'm picking next at 107. Right now, the top available, we have Kevin Fiala, Timo Meyer, Trevor Moore, Uri Slevkovsky, Jamie Benn, Nick Ehlers, Brandon Hagel.
I think
Someone's
you're
looking at left
filtered on
wings.
something, but
Someone's looking at left wings.
yeah.
He's up next, though, so it's not the end of
Yeah.
the world.
I might have just given away what I'm about to do.
It's okay. I mean, Scotty can't hear you, so.
Yeah, true that. Neither can Dan, fortunately. That could have been a real bad. If someone was sitting at the turn, you could have just ended me for the rest of the year. All right, I gave away that I'm looking at left wings pretty viciously. I have no left wings right now. I'm gonna take two. I got Hagel and Ehlers and Timo Meyer all ranked 88, 91, 92 in that order. First, I'm going to get Hagel. I do not know who I'm going to grab after that, but Hagel's a sneaky one that last year finished very high. I think Tampa's power play is going to be really good. Now the question is, looking at New Jersey, I really like Timo Meyer. And then it comes
will he be healthy enough all year long? Plus his plus minus would kill you.
No. So are there any IR spots?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's two.
We have two. We have two. Yeah.
Two IRs. Okay.
All right. So I do a lot based off of last year is one of the big things. Last year, Nick Ehlers finished 99th in this scoring format. Timo Meyer was unranked because he had a brutal year, which doesn't really help me because I don't like to go off injuries from last year. Man, projected for this year, Timo Meyer's at 980. Ehlers, I'm gonna go just based on teams I enjoy watching. If Timo Meyer gets back to me, I cannot stand watching Winnipeg play hockey, if I'm being honest. All right.
Well, that seems like a silly way to build your team. Just because you don't like watching them play doesn't mean they can't perform for you.
Binnington and Tuck went at the turn. Kevin Fiala last year had 987 versus Ehlers had 890. Okay, so that's final. I think Meyer plays all year. I'm between Fiala and Meyer right now, and I'm going based on the upside that I think the new coach is going to be the biggest beneficiary to Timo Meyer. Lindy Ruff notoriously did not like him and had him pinned in the third, fourth line. I think with top line minutes, the team they've brought in this year, and hopefully power play one utilization in a healthy season, that could be a big pick there in the with the 111th selection. Timo Meyer for me. The end of the round here, round 9 has concluded. Round 9 picks, Owen Tippett with the 901, Devon Taves, Alex Pietrangelo, Jake Sanderson, Brock Besser, Sam Bennett, Anze Kopitar, Fabian Zetterlund, Mats Zuccarello, Tyler Toffoli, Brandon Hagel, Jordan Binnington. I now have 2 left wings. Gents, what spots is everybody missing? I need a right wing and 2 Ds. I have 1 center on my bench right now. How about you guys?
I need a left wing, a right wing, and 2 Ds.
I need a D and 2 goalies.
2D, 2 goalies for me.
I am looking at 2 lefts and a defenseman.
Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Oh,
what did you do?
No.
Uh-oh. Whoa.
I did not see that.
Ukko Pekka-Luukanen
on the clock. No.
Wow.
Can I reverse
Wow.
that?
No.
I wanted to put him in my queue. I had Kevin Fiala ready to go.
Woo.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, George.
Oh
Wow.
no.
Great pick
Buffalo
on Zach
to
Werenski.
Buffalo to the playoffs? Anyone?
Mm.
No. No. Just no.
They're not.
Come
They're
on,
not
man.
going to make the
I
playoffs.
honestly, I
Listen,
could
we just
see,
talked
I
about
could
Lindsey,
see
Ralph.
UPL getting outshined by Devin Levi this year too. That could be a guy that is in a full timeshare.
Yeah, again, I was not anticipating getting that flipping over to draft instead of Q as soon as I pressed the button. That's what happened. It went from Q to draft, and I didn't see draft, and I pressed the button and I drafted it.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
Nick,
uh,
I'm throwing out my draft strategy. We're getting another center. He was lasting way too long on the board.
Kenny Malkin is drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something.
Just the amount of power play points that he could get, I think, for me.
Yeah, Ditzel, you mentioned you don't like watching Winnipeg. I don't mind watching Winnipeg hockey, so I'm going to take Ehlers personally as somebody who needs a left
Great
wing
pick.
here.
I have nothing wrong with it. That's one where I was
here too.
I was looking based on power play. I think Winnipeg just doesn't put up enough goals, and if we go back to the division rankings, I have them bound for a little bit of regression. And mostly I just don't like watching them play.
Fair. I think for me in the 10th round,
it's low offense. Low offense is not good for fantasy hockey.
I think for me in the 10th round, I think Ehlers is pretty surefire to get me at least 750 points, which I will take happily in this kind of range if he plays all 82. Next pick here, another one off the board, I think, in my opinion, but I think if he plays up to his potential, I may have the top 3 goaltenders in the league this year and taking Ilya Sorokin to come in off the bench.
Wow.
That was the goal that I had queued up.
I had him last year also.
I like that a lot, Matt.
He had a down year last year. He still put up a 1094 in terms of fantasy points with a 301 goals against. That's got to come down. And at least in my opinion, I don't think Sorokin's the kind of goaltender that's going to put up above 3 goals against back to back. So for me, I feel like it's a good opportunity and for an Islanders team that could be a little feisty every year.
All right. I need D, so we're going with that.
Oh, that's a great pick. I had Matty Watt in my queue ready to roll.
I'm surprised Brock Nelson went before this guy. So I'm picking up Barzal.
That is interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too high on any of the Islanders offense, so
I had Barzal last year. I loved him.
He's starting to shoot the puck more, and I think he's gonna have like a breakout year like we saw in his rookie year. He had like 85 points, so I'm expecting about the same.
Since the start of the 10th. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was gonna say all that talk about me drafting Fiala, I had him taken right out from under me.
Since the start of the 10th, it was Tuck, Meyer, Letang, Anderson, Freddie Anderson, that is, goaltender of Carolina. Jeremy Swayman, which is a major gamble, could be out the whole year, could be out until December, could play game 1, which would be probably the steal of the draft if he does. UPL, Batherson, Werenski, Rasmus Anderson, Evgeny Malkin, Nick Ehlers, and Justin Falk. Then here in round 11, the 1101, Brady Shea, Ilya Sorokin, Matt Roy, Brock Nelson, Matt Barzal, Kevin Fiala, Marty Necas goes to George there. George, a pick that I was actually about to queue up right there as well.
Yeah, being a Metro fan, see a lot of him. Very excited. I'm happy that you didn't scrap him up any time before that, so I'll gladly take him off your plate.
So now we're in the mid rounds here with the outsiders. I've got pick 131. I'm up in 2. I need 2D and a right wing, and then my bench spots. I am currently looking at Arturi Lehkonen. I want any piece of the Colorado top lines that I can get. Lehkonen is ranked on that top power play unit. Oh, no, he's not. Scratch that. That's going to change my decision there. Trevor Moore is also still available. Let's see, with the LA Kings. And he's a guy on power play unit number 2. I'm going to go to the defensive side. This one's a little bit out of left field. Morgan Riley is a guy I've statted up pretty high. Pick 130. I need good D. Riley is going to be on that power play for Toronto. And I'm a little bit desperate in the defensive standings right now, so that's where I'm going to go.
That's a good pick.
I
had him queued up for my round 12 pick. He's the quarterback of that PP1. That's a great pick.
Yeah.
Power play exposure is something I am big time looking at, especially from the D guys, and that's where my next pick is going to be a little tough, and I'm not quite sure where I want to go with it right now. Trying to find that value again here. I'm going to be picking at the 134. End of the rounds here. It was after Marty Necas, Nazem Kadri, Bo Horvat, Uri Slevkovsky. I got Morgan Riley, Matthias Ekholm. That's a sneaky great pick from way down.
There goes Gudish.
Radko Gudish. We are in the depths of defensemen right now.
Yeah, we are.
Which, for me, almost opens up that I want to look elsewhere. I need a right winger. Man,
There's 2 or 3 that I see that could be interesting.
I hate this. I hate this so much. I really don't like this player.
Wow, that's kind of mean.
Jeez.
It's got a family.
Yeah, thanks. I am going to pick Patrick Kane.
Oh.
Ooh, I love it. I actually love it.
It's greasy. It is
that
is a risk that I don't like taking risks. That was a huge risk. That's a guy that could be injured the entire season. He's ancient, but he's also on a Detroit team that I don't think is good, but has the greatest top 6 in the NHL, maybe. Matt, sneaky. What do you?
Talk me through the rest of the right wings on the board here. For those who are listening, some of the names that are at the top of the list: Jared McCann, Tyson Forrester, Claude Giroux, Pavel Buchnevich. What made you go Kane over some of those names?
Yeah, sure. So that was in the 130s right now. We're mid 130s in the draft. I actually have Patrick Kane ranked in the 90s. I have him ranked higher than that. I have him ranked 86th in so actually I didn't even know that, honestly, when I made that pick, and I'm feeling a little bit better about it, but the injuries is what concerns me. I don't think Seattle's going to have enough offense to really get it done. That's McCann. Laine's hurt. Tyson Forrester's not guaranteed power play time with Philly. Claude Giroux's on the second unit in Ottawa. So that's kind of where I'm going. Kane's going to be on that top power play. They're going to try to put him in positions to be showtime. But man, yeah, I don't love it, if I'm being honest. There's better places I would have liked to go.
First time we've heard that noise all day. I think it's exciting to hear.
Oh, there goes
Oh,
Dowdy.
Colin.
Wow, both my D-men came off the queue there, and Harley and Dunn.
So why are you guys looking at Dowdy after the possibility that he's out 8 months? Would be my
Well,
question.
it's the auto draft for Colin.
Oh yeah.
So,
But
I would
Matt, you
ask
said
him.
you had him in the queue.
Harley and Dunn.
Harley and Vince Dunn. All right, end of the ninth round picks. Excuse me, end of the 12th round. It was Gudish, Patrick Kane, Neil Pionk, Michael Bunting, Rupe Hintz, Keandre Miller, Thomas Harley, Vince Dunn, Drew Doughty, Philip Gustafson. And
we still got 2
we're
more
now
picks.
at the turn with Matt. Matt, you're the 12-11 right now.
Yeah.
Getting scary.
Gosh, this could be that's too many. I think that's too much vibes. Honestly, as crazy as that sounds, I think there's too much vibes in that pick. But I'm gonna go with a guy who I think is gonna get an opportunity on the top line and potentially as a body front up on the power play one and a really good offense in Toronto. Gets a lot of hits, gets a lot of block shots. Give me Matthew Nyes, University of Minnesota graduate.
So still
Hey,
vibes.
you know.
Maybe
Yeah, still
future
vibes.
friend of the show too.
That's what we call a big market tease. Attaboy.
Matt, you're going to be up in the next pick here. At the turn, we've got Nyes, then Hannafin, Charlie Lindgren, and Matt, you're back up.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I actually don't really have any sort of idea, rhyme, or reason for any pick right now. So this could be fun.
This
I'm
is when
looking
we're really
around.
in the greasy section.
You know, I'm gonna go. This guy put up 850 points last year on the blue line, and I think he is going to a team that overall puts him in a better spot to get more minutes. Last year, he had Shabbat kind of log in with Sanderson on the left side, and this year he's going to be in Washington. I think he's going to be the number one guy on that left side. Correct me if I'm wrong, unless they give it to Sandin, but give me Jacob Chicken on the blue line.
That was gonna be my pick.
I was also looking at him. Can we go back to Washington? And we had this chat in our group. Jake, sorry, you can go first. But Ovechkin is on the both top and second power play unit. The only player in the NHL that plays on both units.
And he's done it for quite some time. I guess it just shows you the hyper focus of Washington in that special teams unit. Problem is, you got to draw the penalty to get on the power play.
All right,
Sounds like
I had this
somebody
guy
who's-
last year. I think he's going to do pretty well for me as well. I'm buying high on Utah. I'm going Sean Dursey.
Don't hate the option there. Not going to throw the body around that much, but that's okay. It's going to get you points.
Oh yeah.
George is looking next after this one.
Should probably draft a goalie, right?
Yeah, I'm just at this point for me. I'm like, I might just do the waiver wire goalie and go with that.
That's what I usually do, but the points of goalies are important in this league, so I might be screwed.
Only somebody had Sorokin, Shesterkin, and Hellebuck. That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
that would be insane.
5 goalie start would have been
I need a
crazy thought to just for draft capital purposes.
I need a left winger, someone who could throw some body around. Picked up 800 points in this league last year. I like that. It's going to get some time on the PP2. I'm going to go with Ivan Barbashev.
Oh man, I have no clue where I want to go right now.
It's always when it's
Back to
most
the
fun.
maybe back to the rankings. Let's
Oh,
stick
whoa, whoa,
to
whoa.
stick to the plan.
Literally just hit Q when you drafted him. So good pick. I like it.
Please tell me that was not Jamie Benn.
Oh,
It might
That
have been.
That
was.
was Jamie Benn.
That is who I wanted. And
Ooh.
here we go. Here we go again. All right. Well, my plan going into this was that I was going to absolutely rank the Boston Bruins. I like Boston a lot. I wanted Marchand. I wanted McAvoy. I didn't get any of them. Elias Lindholm is a right winger. Nope.
He'll be playing with Marshy on that second line.
Yeah, but he's
Or
not the
Pasta
one.
on the top one.
I am running out of time and getting desperate quick here. I still need a D. I really, for my plan, I need 3 of them. Good gosh. Panic time picks, boys. What do we get here? I'm gonna go Anaheim. Cam Fowler.
Okay.
Greasy.
I think if he gets moved, that could be a really good value pick, that's all.
Yeah.
If he's
That's
still
what
on
we
the
were-
team, that would
That's
be
what
the
we were
question.
talking about with the Pacific preview, as he's like the likely trade candidate. Oh, okay. Ooh,
Interesting.
yeah,
I don't hate it. I
yeah.
don't.
Oh,
Listen,
I
it's a
do.
lot
I
better
do.
than my
That's a
UPL
terrible.
pick, but
He's just a bad player.
Tristan
He's
Jarry?
also- Yeah, Nedeljkovic is the starter.
That's actually cannot be true.
What
think
lines are
he's
you
good.
looking at?
I mean, Nedeljkovic is the better goaltender there.
That's a crazy take.
And
that's a sneaky
Charlie-
good pick there.
Charlie Coyle.
yeah, if you don't
Yeah.
have 3 centers yet, I don't know what you're doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
What
Well,
if we
he's got
afford-
three top tier goalkeepers.
Yes, exactly. Now you understand.
George is starting to get it.
Causing big problems right now. I want this guy so bad.
Stop talking and start drafting. 20 seconds, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. Dude, I'm so torn. Oh my gosh.
You know what? Honestly, I don't. If you didn't say that, I'm not sure he was going to draft. So that was very kind of you to remind him.
I went with Elias Lindholm, top power play unit. It's not who I wanted.
Not an option on that top power play unit, but yeah, sure.
Maybe they'll get some pluses in there.
Zaka
That's a
Lindholm,
good point.
Marchand.
Plus minus is a deal. So that's
I got Zaka Lindholm, Marchand, Pasternak, McAvoy as my projected top PP1.
Oh, it's still Negachi killed me.
That sounds right. That's a great pick, by the way.
Who, Lindholm or Parayko?
Logan Cooley at
Yeah,
that spot.
that was gonna be
that's
mine.
why. And then Parayko just got taken out from under me. So now let's pivot a little. I'm gonna go big body, big hits, blocks a lot of shots. I'm gonna go with Braden McNabb.
Almost guaranteed points just standing in the way of crap.
Yeah, exactly. Whether he's hitting something or being hit by something.
Dude, I'm so in one right now.
I gotta do some research quick. No, screw it. We're sending it.
And
Skinner.
Colin ends up with Line on the auto draft.
Yeah.
I think we're late enough to where it's not going to hurt him too bad.
No.
F. Skinner, a pick I like a lot. but not as good as my upcoming pick.
If he gets to you.
He I will seriously lose my balls if this guy does not get down to me. I don't even.
I will say, is he a winger?
No.
Okay, then you're safe at least for one more pick.
I'm gonna have some serious restructuring to do. I am.
All right. I kind of was just looking around for guys who I was shocked were still available. And this is a guy who's a point per game every single year and puts up 800, 900 points in this league year in and year out, and nobody seems to want him. So give me Robert Thomas.
Golly.
So I had him on my values. I was gonna get him in the 130s, but I went out and just picked every center available for the first 4 rounds. So that is an unbelievable pick there, Maddie.
That is a great pick. Took him right. I had him as my top of my queue. Oh.
My gosh, my team sucks so bad. I'm just not happy. Not a happy guy. This is not how I wanted to start my defense of the title. All right, we are now nearing pick 170. The end of the 14th round. 13th round went Lindgren, Chikrin, Dersey, McCann, Theodore, Larson, Barbashev, Jamie Benn, Slavin, Cam Talbot, Cam Fowler, Tristan Jarry. Round 14 was Charlie Coyle, Elias Lindholm, Mark Scheifele, Logan Cooley, Colton Parayko, Braden McNabb, Thomas Hurdle, Jeff Skinner, Patrick Laine, Trevor Moore, Robert Thomas, Blake Coleman, Seth Jones.
Yeah, and I'm up here, gonna get a guy who is young, just got signed to a big extension, and if paced out to an 82 game season, would have scored over 900 points last year. Give me Dylan Gunther on Utah.
Yeah.
That's a very good pick there.
Keep hearing that, boys. I'm very excited that you guys are super stoked for my team this year.
Can you guys see the reflection of my glasses or something? What's going on?
Oh,
Yeah,
you guys just
cover your camera.
I think you guys just all understand the vibes. I think it's just
all right.
We're on the same wave.
Before we pump his tires, I'm looking at his team. This is not necessarily a championship winning team. He's got Connor McDavid. That's
are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The power play points of McDavid, Marner, McAvoy, Suzuki, and then he's got Hellebuck, Shesterkin, and Sorokin as his top 3 goalkeepers. And he's got a fantastic pick in Robert Thomas. What are you saying?
I'm not scared of him. That's what I'm saying.
Ditzel never has fear in me. That's fine.
He's going to learn today.
Guys, I might luck out to the max right now.
You talking about a winger or a defender?
I'm not going to tell you at all.
Well, I can tell you. If you tell me if you're looking at a winger or a defender, I could say, yeah.
Nope. My lips are sealed.
We're getting down to the end here.
George is up.
Yeah, here's someone I think is going to make an impact in Chicago. We talked about it. We talked about him before on the podcast, saying when we were putting together our lines and our team that this person being brought in wasn't necessarily brought in or shouldn't have been brought in for Connor Bedard. But I like Tyler Bertuzzi right here.
So nasty guy. I love it. Just not fun to play against.
All right. I need to wait for the next pick to come in before I announce where I'm looking. Cole Perfetti off the board. I am really hoping that Cam York makes it one more pick. I think he's going to be on the top power play for Philly.
Over Sanheim? who just gets
Speaking of,
Who just got drafted. I think that's Sanheim's spot. I don't think Sanheim. It's his to lose, and Torts really likes him quarterbacking that power play. So I don't think he's going to be off that position.
Well, then I'm going to go with my league winner here and just sit on my defenseman pick for another little bit. I'm going Mark Stone. This is going to be the guy that wins the league out of the 16th round if he can stay healthy. If he's healthy, he is a 1.2 point per game player. And that was where I went with Philip Forsberg last year in this league. I got him in the 14th, and he was a top 5 overall guy, league winner. I would love to pick Val Nichushkin. Now the problem is I have too many right wingers. Val Nichushkin is a really interesting one to me because the problem with him is you can't put him on your IR because he's sussied.
Right.
I might get really nasty here.
Good greasy nuts.
Really greasy. This is so greasy.
sounds like one of our Five Guys trips before our broadcast.
To me, that's such a weird decision to go pre-broadcast with Five Guys.
Well, there's not a lot of options.
Every single time we did it. I am between Joel Farabee and Kirill Marchenko. I'm taking Kirill Marchenko. Top power play in Columbus. Their team's going to be brutal, but I just hope he scores a lot of goals at this point. That's a guy that
Let you know if I see him down in Cleveland.
Yeah, right. 2 weeks into the season, that might be a guy gone off my team.
So Ditz, walk me through that pick instead of Mason Marchment. Other than the position on the PP unit.
Strictly power play.
All right.
Yeah.
Other than that, but all right, okay.
I honestly, I don't really want Marchment though. I don't think the depth guys in Dallas are able to shine enough. I think Dallas spreads it around so much that outside of like really Robertson, Heiskanen, even Hintz last year was brutal. I had him in both my leagues, and
yeah, Rupee Hintz does not translate well in fantasy.
Like I think Johnson went too high as a center with the depth of centers in this league. Like I love Dallas's players. I just think all of them score. Like Jamie Benn is really the only guy on Dallas that I think is an absolute like star on the left wing. And saying for fantasy purposes. And I think Jason Robertson's going to have a big year, but with some injury questions around him for the start of the year, he went in the first 3 rounds anyway. I didn't have a chance with being on the turn. George, you're back up here.
Yeah, Lawson Krause was on my radar, but I'm okay with taking another right winger, this one out of Nashville, Gustav Nyquist. He's going to have another solid year. He's going to give me plus minus. He's going to give me PPPs. He's going to give me assists. I'm snapping him up right there.
We are about to be into the final round of the draft.
This one for me is a little bit of a homer pick, but not a homer pick. Left wing drafted in 2018 with the 14th overall pick from my hometown, Cicero, New York. He hit a home run off me in Little League. Joel Farabee.
Oh, you got to pick him if you hit a home run off you.
Oh, yeah. There's a reason I wasn't a pitcher.
Dave Ferentz was still in the league. I'd have to do the same, but I think he's out in the E somewhere. But got a couple vibes picks here to end off, obviously. One, I think, is going to provide a decent amount of value at the start of the year, and that's kind of all I need him for here. As my fourth goaltender off the board in my final, as I'm only allowed to take four, but I think Korpisalo does a pretty solid job getting some wins in Boston until Swayman takes the job over there. And I think in the 16th round, if he ends up being the guy for the whole year, I think that's unbelievable value.
That's a great pick. I had him in my queue debating between him and a different player that I have at the top right now. So that's a damn, Maddie.
Yeah, one more pick coming up here. I'm stoked to get it in.
Oh man, I am not happy right now. I I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I need to put some guys on the injured reserve and just stack it up everywhere else. Where did Connor Ingram go?
I got him. I'm high on Utah this year. I think they're making the playoffs.
That was my guy. I hyped him up big time in the division breakdown. That would have been my pick if he was still available here, I think.
Alrighty. And to end off, like I've said before, I am riding the wave harder than anybody else this year. I think by November he's going to be running the top power play with my second center here, Nick Suzuki. Give me Lane Hudson to end off my draft.
Greasy.
Ooh. All right. Well, I am forced to take a goalie with this one because I left it for so long. So my options are not great. Either Gibson or Askarov, who are both hurt, Mrazek or Samsonov. So I think the only one healthy and starting, maybe, is Mrazek. I don't really know the Chicago goalie situation. So
sounds like a fun experiment.
Yeah. That's okay. There'll be some breakout goalie in like the 4th or 5th week of the season, and I'll pick him up off a waiver wire. So we'll go with Mrazek to end mine.
So I only have a goalie spot left, and I'm actually using it just based on sample size last year. Seattle Kraken, I think they had a down year. And I'm picking Joey Dackard.
That was my next pick. Okay, can we just talk about how I think we need to add a round next year because the purpose of snake draft, I'm just getting blasphemously boned right now at the 203 with no snake back. You start in the last round of the draft, you finish in the last pick of the draft.
I would
in the
talk to
second
commissioner
worst
about that.
situation. Well, yep. You know, when I win, no one can complain that it was rigged. That's the only reason I do it. I got that much confidence in my stats. I'm getting greasy here. I got my eyes on one of the last D that I think is on power play 1 here. Good luck finding that name.
There goes the new possible one in Calgary.
Probably as scary of a situation as Chicago, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, my last pick. I gotta get a D-man on my bench. So here comes Shane Goss's here, baby.
You mother! Oh! Screw you, George.
Brent Burns coming in hot on that PP1 anyways. Don't worry,
No,
guys.
he's not. He's not.
No, he's
It's
not.
Goss's bear.
It's not Brett Burns.
Oh, that is brutal. I do not have any D. With the last pick in the freaking draft. Screw the guy harder.
Penultimate. You're not 12, you're 11.
No, I'm saying with your last pick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go goalie.
Couldn't even get Kochetkov.
That's who I'm looking at right now. I think Kachekhov's going to take over the crease. Freddie Anderson is guaranteed to be injured for half the year. I'm going to sit on that. All right, last round of the draft here. In the 17th, we had the 17-1 at Aiden Hill, then Lane Hudson, Peter Mrazek, Marc-Andre Fleury, Joey Decord, Dustin Wolf, Shane Gostisbehere. George, I'm going to be sending some hate mail to your mailbox here. Logan Thompson, Ilya Samsonov, or Samsonov. Argue that one around it whatever way you want. Braden Shen, Pyotr Kochetkov, Nikita Zadorov, last off. All right, boys, final rankings. Let's have everyone read off your teams, the final rosters. I will start. I got JT Miller, Alexander Barkov as my centers with Tim Stützle backing up. Left wingers, Brandon Hagel and Timo Meyer. I like that. I think both those guys are power players. I got Kirill Marchenko as my bench left winger, and I might be making some waiver wire moves with my bench that I have my eyes on here pretty quickly. Right wings, pay the man, baby. Seth Jarvis, my league winner. Patrick Kane, Greasy, Elias Lindholm, and Mark Stone. All power play one guys there. My D is really the only weakness. Makar, Sergachev, Morgan Riley. I like all three of them. Cam Fowler, I don't like, and I don't have a bench D right now. So that's a gaping weakness, especially since it's the only position that has four of them. My goaltenders are Alexander Georgiev and UC Saros with Pyotr Kochetkov backing him up.
Okay. I guess I'll go next. So in my center core down the middle, I've got Austin Matthews, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Evgeny Malkin. On the left wing, we're going Jake Gensel, Clayton Keller, and Trevor Moore and Joel Farabee. On the right, I've got William Nylander, Brian Rust, and Pavel Buchnevich. And then on the blue line, you got Noah Dobson, Jacob Trouba, Alex Pietrangelo, Matt Waugh, and Sean Dursey. In between the pipes, I've got, this is my big weakness, is Philip Gustafsson and Peter Mrazek. So that second goalie spot is definitely going to be a waiver goalie, pretty much, unless Mrazek has like an immaculate season.
I'll go next. I'll break it down similarly to Jake. Centers, I have Elias Pettersson, Braden Point, and Andrzej Kopitar. On my left wing, Brady Tkachuk, Ivan Barbashev, and Tyler Bertuzzi. On my right wing, Jordan Kyrou, Martin Necas. I think that's a sleeper pick that's going to come big for me. That's just me speaking. And Gustav Nyquist. My D-core, Dougie Hamilton, Brock Faber, Keandre Miller, Braden McNabb. I think Keandre Miller he's going to be on PP2, but he's going to have plenty of minutes on that second line. Ryan Lindgren's already hurt, so they're probably going to shuffle him up top with Adam Fox here and there as well. So he's going to get plenty of time with my bench D being Shane Gostisbehere. In between the pipes, I got Jacob Markstrom, Jake Ottinger, and my mistake pick of Ukko Pekka-Luukanen, which I'm probably going to drop imminently anyway. So,
yep, and I'll go next. Similar to Jake and George, I'll run through centers first. So, centering, I have Jack Hughes, Jack Eichel, Matthew Barzal, and Wyatt Johnston. Left wingers, I have Lucas Raymond, Matt Boldy, and Jeff Skinner. Right wing, we have Brock Besser, Nikita Kucherov, and Tyler Seguin. Defense, pretty strong, I'm not going to lie. I have Miro Heiskanen, Zach Werenski, Vince Dunn, and Shea Theodore. And then as far as goalies go, similar to Jake, I kind of left that to last, probably shouldn't have. But I got Connor Ingram and Joey Dackard.
I will round us out on the left side. I've only got two, Nikolai Ehlers and Matthew Nyes. Up the middle, I've got Connor McDavid, Nick Suzuki, and Robert Thomas. On the right side, I've got Mitch Marner, Adrian Kempe, and Dylan Gunther. On my blue line, I've got Charlie McAvoy, Brent Burns, Devin Tays, Jacob Chikrin, and Lane Hudson. And in between the pipes, a rotation of 4 guys, including Connor Hellebuck, Igor Shesterkin, Ilya Sorokin, and Jonas Korpisalo.
The first ever Fifth Liners Fantasy Hockey Draft. Matt, the vibes feel high?
They've never been higher.
I don't think Matt's winning the league. I'm going to call it right here. I am not so sure about my own hopes to win the league right now, but we'll see. Boys, hockey starts this week. The Global Series, they're out in Europe, New Jersey and Buffalo kicking us off. Who's most excited for the opening puck drop here?
I think it's going to be fun, and keep an eye on my team's namesake, Josh Dunn. See if he cracks Buffalo's roster. We'll see.
What about the preseason he's been having? Friend of the podcast in the last 2 preseason games, a pair of goals and a tilt. One of those pairs coming in the same period. He kicked off the first period of their Saturday night preseason game with a goal and a fight. He was an assist away from the Gordie Howe hat trick in the first period of the Sabres-Sens game. But Ottawa, keep an eye on them. They're going for the playoffs this year. I got it locked in, no question.
Look, as long as Brady Tkachuk gives me points, I'm fine. Ottawa's not doing anything.
Matt's going to be driving up to come to the playoffs with whoever else wants to come to the Casey Ditzel celebration party as the Sens make the playoffs. Gentlemen, enjoy the week. It's been it wasn't a pleasure for me, but I always have fun hanging out with you guys. We'll be back next week. The official week 1 will be recording right before recapping the Global Series coming up this Friday, and looking forward to the official week 1 when we'll be back with our parlay party, and a big one as hockey is about to be underway. George College hockey ready to go. I'm getting back in the booth. You've already been in the booth. It's an exciting time to be a hockey fan.
I've been busy with a couple of my Eastern Hockey League games so far, but October 11th is my first official college hockey broadcast. UConn going to Worcester, Massachusetts to start a home and home with Holy Cross. So excited to be on that call.
We are 1 episode away. That does it for episode 12, the Fifth Liners Hockey Podcast. Upcoming opening night, the Global Series, a 1 o'clock start on Friday, and I believe it's a 10 a.m. start Saturday between the Devils and the Sabres. We'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned. Go like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify, Apple Music, hopefully coming up shortly. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and X at Fifth Liners Pod on Instagram and TikTok, at Fifth Line Pod on X. Until next time, this has been episode 12, the Fifth Liners Podcast. We'll see you later.